As shown on camera just moments before, the atmospheres between these two teams could not be more different. Murray with a huge grin on his face, knowing that if he wins this next map, it'll be the end of his Korean professional career, but he will be able to play in Sweden. And, I mean, that's it, man. This could be his last game ever inside of Korea domestically. And they just need one more. The map choice is probably MVP Blacks here as we go into this next battleground. Can they close it out? It looks likely, given their dominant performances in Game 1 and then especially in Game 2.
And MVP Miracle is having a very tough time. It's almost like they're choking against Black, starting from the draft and into the game. They really have to change going for the late game, Nazeebo. The game's already over, blown up before 16. It was like 16-12 by that time. Maybe it's time to really steal away all that zero-tool action and just take out Nazeebo, bring in Stitches. It didn't work last time. Maybe try it with some other different comp. Should be a solid answer. Or maybe just try to perfect what they have prepared. Should be a better response against Black here.
That's what I'm hoping for, too. We'll see if that ends up being the case as we move into this third, potentially final game. I hope not. I hope that Miracle can find the way back into this series, go into some more unusual maps, and maybe we get that 5th game, Tower of Doom, something like that. That's my dream. That was my dream coming in tonight, okay? Will my dream be answered? I'm hoping so. I hope I get what I want because I'm really selfish, and I want what the fans want. I want to have that good 5-game series. But I did not think it was going to be the dominant 3-0 story that a lot of Korean analysts were saying. You know what? I think if Black wins this, it's a 3-0. And I'm like, yeah, I think there's a good chance of that, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have a closer series, especially with Miracle looking so on form. But Black looks to be way better, way more coordinated. We don't know how much they've been scrimming against each other during playoffs as well, because it might have been they were scrimming together the entire time leading up to this, or it could have been that knowing that there was a high chance that they might meet each other in this playoffs, that Black just said, all right, good luck, go practice with the Chinese teams and the other teams and have a good time. So we don't actually know, but I get the feeling they practiced with each other for the majority of the playoffs because Miracle's level of play was way higher in the playoffs than it was in regular season.
That's right, and they've already also said during the interview that Black seems to be the worst fear for them because they've been losing so much from the scrims. I'm pretty sure that pressure is coming into the actual plays of today, and they're down 2-0. Can they bring it back? It's going to be very tough as they are into this choke point already, but they can make it happen. L5 made it happen. If they want to prove themselves of going to the mid-season brawl, they got to do it now. There's no way of going back from now.
No way from coming back from here. You made it this far. You get that last step, the final push with the 3 games. 3 games in a row. They're going to need that, and it's not going to be easy. They've had 3-game winning streaks. They did just yesterday against Mighty. They lost the first game. They won 3 in a row. This time they lost 2. They're going to have to win 3 back-to-back. We'll see if they can make it happen. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Black's done some heavy deliberation on the map choice as to why we're not going to that 3rd game, but rest assured it will be coming up soon. I know there's a discussion thread on the Heroes of the Storm subreddit, so thank you for the Heroes Esports thread guy who made that. And if you guys want to go join people outside of the Squid 1, Squid 2, Squid 3, Squid 4, maybe you would go to that thread and actually discuss some of the other posters there. The word out about this tournament, about this finals of playoffs. L5, of course, already going to the mid-season brawl. We're just trying to find out who will join them, and it looks very likely to be MVP Black at this current state in time.
Series is not over. Many of you are thinking that MVP Black is going to stomp over Miracle once again, and they do want to close it out. This is usually the map they go for when they want to be done with the series. It's going to be Battlefield of Eternity. Choice from MVP Black here.
Yeah, usually it's Black into Sky Temple and BOE. It's going to be BOE for the 3rd game still, not the Sky Temple. I think they baited out that Nazeebo pick, though, on Tomb of the Spider Queen and countered it hard. But now this is going to be a very objective-based map, a map that MVP Black has done so well on in the past. It's one of their best maps, even overseas. You look back at their series, MVP Black versus E-Star, for example. There's an incredible series to watch from China, from the Gold Club Championship. Go watch some of those tournaments if you actually aren't familiar with some of the old Heroes of the Storm history. There's a lot for Korea, in Korea and in China as well. So the really epic map between Black and E-Star took place here. It's a map that Black has done well in DreamHack Summer. They've done well here even as far back as when we had the Spring Championship hosted by OGN here in Seoul. And It's a map that everyone gets terrified, gets goosebumps on when Black picks it, because they know that this could be an insanely dominant game. This map is so draft-specific in terms of the objective, and Black is the best drafting team in the world. Most would say better than L5.
Blue Miracle, they have the first man, and they are going to go open everything in.
Will they grab the Genji? That's the big question. I don't think they should, and they decide not to. They grab Tyrael instead. This will leave Black with Li Ming. No doubt they grab her here. Gonna be Greymane instead, though.
Even with the Tyrael
and Genji
on the other side.
So some denial picks potentially here from Black. Leaving the Li Ming open.
And that was quick. That was a very quick decision made by Black, as if they knew that was coming.
It's like they've hit this in scrims before, you know? This sort of rotation. Which is why the last two times even, we saw these two teams play against each other, the draft was lightning speed.
Yeah, I remember that draft the entire draft was finished within 2 minutes. That's how fast it was. But here, Miracle has to respond, and they're taking some time, as they already picked up Tyrael for the sweet sanctification.
This is probably going to be a draft that Miracle wants to run Artanis as well. So we'll probably see Dami on the Artanis, Honkono on the Tyrael if they do run that. Curse Bullet could be somewhat of a soft counter to this double tank front line, as we saw already. Miracle can grab the Hammer and Li Ming. I think that would be pretty reasonable here. They have the protection of Tyrael. There's a lot of dive against them with the Greymane and the Genji, but you have the best poke in the game if you take those. They're not going to take either, though. They go to Murd and Tychus. This is going to be finally the first game of 3 where it's not banned against them.
If they have to pick Li Ming, they don't have to pick it right now because they already saw Reset playing on Genji instead. And Black, knowing that, they're not going to pick Li Ming later on. It's going to be these two picks coming up for Miracle later on. Either Crazy Moving is going to be on that Sergeant Hammer or Li Ming. So they know. Yeah, these teams know each other just so well right now.
The thing is, I feel like Miracle could have gotten both. I think they've decided that there's a better way to do this. Because you can see Black was like, ooh, I know they're going to take the one that we don't ban, so what do we do here? But instead of taking both, they want Tychus instead, specifically. And we'll find out why a little bit later, no doubt, as to what Black drafts in terms of tanks will be a big reason.
I think banning on Arthas here is also a very good ban. Just getting out of those roots when first root from Alfurion is already gone, and they already had Tyrael Morden available. It's already taken for Miracle's side.
Yeah, I think that's a good ban.
And all these supports are basically open here.
It was actually Miracle themselves that used Arthas against Tyrael back against Tempo Storm in the opening of Season 3. That was when they said in the interviews they think that Arthas is kind of a counter to Tyrael in a lot of ways. If they hold that same thought process, I think that they will definitely ban the Arthas here. Spending a lot of time thinking about it. Varian instead. Interesting move. Tis is obviously very good on the Varian. You guys have probably seen those highlight clips if you're big HGC Korea fans, but just considering the draft, I would have liked the Arthas ban instead. This leaves this open for Black now. Saka with a big laugh. Remember, last time we had the Greymane played by Saka, and there was a Kyocha on the Ragnaros. I don't think this is going to be a Ragnaros situation on this map. The question becomes, though, will they run another DPS? Because Genji is kind of that hybrid style. I lean towards they're going to grab 2 tanks here at a support.
2 tanks, and maybe one will be Artanis for their racing onto Immortal. They already have Greymane for 4 extra damage, and the shielding onto himself when needed. He's kind of a bruiser into the front line along with the tank. So that will be also a very great pickup on this battleground.
Rhaegar will be the support choice, and Anub'arak. Oh, I was going to mention this earlier. I think part of the reason why Tychus was picked up here was potentially to help deal with the Anub'arak. However, remember, his spell armor will work against Tychus's trait, so you have to time that really well. When you want to use it, you want to bait out that dampen magic and then use the minigun.
Also, Black is considering that Miracle is going to choose Li Ming in this last rotation, so knowing that's going to happen, Anub'arak is one of the best choices for Black right now.
Definitely true. So in terms of supports, this is almost guaranteed the Kharazim. The extra damage, the potential protection. But is there anything else this could be besides a Li-Ming? Are we missing anything?
I think Uther is actually a good way of, if Greymane or Genji dives in, having that target stun would help a little bit, because Kharazim does not have that CC, extra CC available.
Li-Ming and the Kharazim, though, they want to keep it standard. I was worried they were going to experiment here. I feel like they definitely had something else in mind that they were considering otherwise, besides these two, but they stick with what's meta, and they have decent long-range poke with Li-Ming. They have Tychus for the good sustained damage. So this is a draft that could absolutely beat what Black has so far. They have the protection against Dragon Blade with the Sanctification. Now, will Black go into that Artanis for extra racing power? Or are we going to see even like an ETC for the CCs? Wouldn't be too out of the question, especially considering Tychus and Kharazim are on the other side here.
Maybe also someone to give blind to Tychus. Minigun damage will come out. Of course, Li-Ming spell damage will get canceled out a little bit from Anubara. We also saw lots of Chens happening. Let's see if Gyocha goes on the Chen once more.
The Chen was something I was considering too with the Tychus. I don't know if they're going to go Chen and Anubara. I was thinking kind of one or the other. Going to be the Arthas, because he wasn't banned earlier. Instead of the Varian rotation, this is left available. So we'll have this follow-up slow. After the Sanctification wears off, Arthas has this big potential for roots. The slows that are come out can help trap and kill Tyrael, Merida, and Tychus. Genji for the dive. We've seen what Reset could do on this hero already. Sake on the Greymane. It's a terrifying composition from MVP Black, but Miracle has the more meta one. And if they play it just right, they absolutely could win the objectives, could win those team fights. They have the poke from Li-Ming. If they get an early lead, they will win those objectives, but they have to get ahead first. Let's go into what could be the last map of our finals of playoffs, going on to BOE. In blue, MVP Black, Sake on Greymane, Reset on Genji, Tist on Arthas, Gyocha on Anubara, and Meride on Rehgar.
And in red, MVP Miracle. Onkana on Moradin, Dami on Tyrael, Sniper on Tychus, Crazy Moving on Li-Ming, and Darvish on Kharazim.
Okie dokie. Smite damage not locked in here immediately for Tyrael. Okay, he's going to put it in there now. I was like, oh, this is kind of a must pick, I feel, in this situation. Does lock it in now. Gyocha looking for the flank here.
Miracle has a very balanced team composition. They have a very good wave clear also, possibly for tanking, and good racing comp also. But Black, they want to go all in. Dive with Anubara, comes in from the side, and Genji just swift strike in and out, taking the aggro when it's the right time. Sake can also come in, pour out that damage, and even Rehgar does tons of damage in that wolf form.
Yeah. Not going to be Lightning Bond, actually. Surprisingly, it's going to be Wolf Run for this map. This is the map where you normally would see the Lightning Bond over the Wolf Run, considering there's not that much roaming you need to do, but will be a lot speedier. Sniper actually going to come over here and commit to the potential gank onto Tist. Activates his minigun. Tist with the self-heal will escape. One thing I do want to remind everyone to keep an eye out for is going to be the deflects coming out from Reset. Good timed deflects can actually completely nullify all the burst damage coming out from Crazy Moving. Can also do a ton of damage against a potential Disintegrate or the minigun coming out. So if he actually deflects well, some of the damage sources of Miracle are going to be tough to execute against him. Now, I feel like what you said about Miracle's comp being balanced is the best way to describe it. It's like, you know, it's like that cereal ad that's part of a balanced composition. And that's what it is. It's a balanced composition.
Yeah, that's right.
You got two sources of damage. You got the AP Li-Ming with the poke. You've got the more sustained Tychus damage. You've got protection.
Right. You got a support that can also do tons of damage afterwise and take the aggro, just like Genji on the other side. There's a deflect that you've been talking about. Actually, did some damage to Sniper instead.
Yep. That's the idea here. Meride's actually pretty low, though. They're going to dive him. He will go down. First blood goes to Miracle. Whoa, and MVP Black will have to back off.
Reset almost got caught by that orb, too. That could have been close. Gyocha, does he have the dive? No, he does not. There will be 2 kills already going for Miracle, and can this be a comeback Let's see a little bit more into the game. Seems like they're off to a very good start for now. But, oh! Punished for overextending just by staying alone a little
Dami,
bit more.
though, gonna go for the counter kill. No vision.
Does he have the
He is gonna have it in a second.
Oh, he does not.
So 1 for 1. 3 kills to 1 in total, though, on the side of Miracle. They're gonna start to lead off this very aggressive Immortal phase. Very well played. This is, by the way, Kyoja's first career game of a Nubarak. So, you know, we got to be nice in terms of judging his play on it. In the past, it was Rich who would play the hero most of the time. By that, I mean like 3 times probably his whole career, because Nubarak wasn't meta in Asia. MV Black just barely will still win this. 1380. All the extra damage they have coming out from Greymane, the Genji, the Beatles even. It's kind of surprising that that actually occurred. Just have a comp that's designed for the objective, remember. Miracle needs to be kind of more ahead than they were to get the maximum amount of value out of the Li Ming poke. Well, the first Immortal is the easiest one for Black to win in terms of that, because of how the positioning works. Later on, Li Ming will be much more valuable.
Nubarak has been just top tier all of a sudden after a few patches. And Cocoon also being kind of the meta. Starting from last weekend, from week 9 to week 10, and also into Korea, has to make some big debuts into Korean scene.
Absolutely has.
Remember a long time ago when...
Oh, he's going to die for this! The deflect damage is not enough. Dami actually avoids a lot of that. Anyways, ask me again.
No, I don't want to ask anymore. There's Sniper almost getting very low, but there's actually just...
Ooh, going to try to turn this around.
Burn. The minigun will be the point. Sanctification will be 100% here. No judgment anyway. Anyhow, and no Haymaker this time. Ancona super serious all throughout this playoffs.
Yeah. No messing around with this one.
Who's been known to pick Haymaker lots of times with Worden.
That he has. Well, Dami's actually going to try to get the pick on a reset here, but because he does have his Swift Strike, he's going to get out. But Sniper's coming down. As a minigun, already a long time ago, that spell, Dampen Magic, was procced. And he will go down. Nice pick here. Trying to get Reason over the wall, and he will get it too. Maintains vision. Well done. And that's how you do it. You got to make sure that once that spell damage is, or sorry, the spell damage reduction from Dampen Magic is done, that's when you pop the minigun and pop the Anubarak. Squash him like a bug. Miracle has the lead in kills quite significantly, but the structural lead goes to Black, and sometimes that's how this map goes. This is the map that the objective matters the most.
That's right. Anubarak has the spell block, but spell armor, but that armor does not really take the damage off of the percent damage coming out from the minigun. So Sniper is doing free damage on the back line, and even the front line of MVP Black. They really got to be careful and take care of those damage coming in.
Dami is actually playing out of his mind right now on the Tyrael. His Arthas play left a lot to be desired on some of the Spider Queen, but here he looks to be much more comfortable, much more in the zone. Will actually potentially try to deny this neutral camp take. Arthas is actually in the top lane right now, so Black is going to have to let this go. They force a 5-man rotation, which is going to get them a nice EXP lead, and they're going to dive on to C moving! It is very, very low. Darvish with the save, though. Can they turn this around?
Barely teleport shot. Also, Sniper gets it's very low, no following up damage.
I feel like they could have maybe gotten the pick there. Oh, Pierce coming out from Honkono. He's actually doing a full Q build there. Didn't see that until just now, but Pierce is actually pretty good against this composition with the melees. What I was going to say is I think they could have actually gotten kills for sure had they not committed Dami to actually capturing that cap. He just stayed there and decided to capture it. Otherwise, it was a 5v4, and he could have added the extra shielding to make sure that happened. Fortunately, not going to have a nice dodge here by Sniper. They want this. The storm goes through. It's barely just not enough damage.
Close there.
Oh, Pierce is such a sick thing when you see it competitive play. There are downsides.
Wow.
Obviously, you have a longer cooldown when you take it like this, but
when you need the extra CC, when your team basically has no CC at all, that's what you go for sometimes. And actually, if you get that stack too from your perfect storm, you do a lot more damage into the structures. You also take out ammos from there. So of course, in this 2 lane, you can have more power to pressure onto the lanes too.
All right, here we go. 10 is just around the horizon. It's actually going to go over to Miracle first with the tick up EXP. Black needs a pick in order to get it. They actually have to leave, I think. Staking around is really risky.
Just for the time, maybe Darvish will actually go in. Haymaker this time!
Okay, we're going to see it. Honkono wants to make this happen. Going full damage here.
And Disintegrate too. But there's Genji on the other side.
Fairly risky choice. Okay, Black's got 10 now. They're on the chase. First bullet taken by Sake.
Ooh.
Sanctification used fairly early. Reset survives here with the Sanctification. The Cocoon here will trap Dami, but will he actually be able to escape? He's got Aldruins.
There's a Dragon Blade reset. Comes in with deflect a little bit. That's going to be not too much damage, but they will have the control over this Immortal. They have the positions for it as Miracle. Some of their members has to go back.
First bullet's up here in just a second, but just going to back off for the time being.
Haymaker, though.
Yeah, Honkono's looking for these angles to get a nice Haymaker to knock a member into the rest of his teammates, but it just feels really forced, to be honest. He hasn't been able to use it yet, but he's been conservative.
I'm not the biggest fan of that, but let's see how he makes this come true into a Miracle. They really need a Miracle anyhow, so why not just do it? Let's see what happens. And Palm, instead of 7-sided here, goes all the way into Regard. There's the Haymaker onto Merryday. Perfect target.
But immediately Wolf runs away because he got that at level 1. It's going to be a lot easier for him to escape. Sniper has to use the Odin here for survivability. Dist as well is getting very, very low. The Disintegrate completely uncontested. Darvish comes in. Crazyman gets the first reset. Will he get a second? He gets a second one. And Merryday super low gets a third, and the fourth will be on Sake. It's a team wipe. 10 kills to 1 now. Miracle will win this Immortal.
This is the power of Haymaker. This isolating Merryday, forcing him to go back and not able to give heals later on because he's low on health, which means he'll die if he steps in. What a play there, and also T-Real came in at the exact timing. Dami shielding onto Tychus' Odin just so that he can survive at the very end. Now this is the Miracle that we've been seeing for the last 2 days.
This is what we needed to see. This is what we were not seeing. Crazy moving in perfect position to get that amazing Disintegrate as well. Okay, here we go. Black wants to come in and fight this for the globes. I'm 100% sure about this decision. Reset doing a ton of damage with Deflect. He's going to pop the Dragon Blade. They're all stacked up here. They're going to die for this. The reset, the Essential goes on to reset here. Palm's actually going to go up onto Dami. He actually nearly got those kills there, but the Palm came in. The first one to die actually will be Arthez. Disintegrate coming down once again with the reset. Looks like it's just going to be 1 kill here. MVP just wanted to wipe Miracle there in mid so that they could actually then defend this a lot easier. The plan definitely backfired, though.
Miracle is playing out of their minds right now, and Merryday is very... Oh, Darvish comes along to the side. Oh, he's going to die for sure.
Oh, he dodged that, but there's no way out. Reset coming in, though. They want to actually punish for this.
No damage onto Deflect whatsoever.
That was
just a grenade, though.
Sick Cypher agility to dodge the grenade, but Black is just playing as if their opponents are massively behind, which is no longer the case. They're actually playing ahead now, and they're trying to find these picks. They're being very aggressive, but they saved the keep. They definitely feel like they could have minimalized the EXP lead that Miracle got with that by diving in there the second time now. Miracle has 12 kills to 1. Don't think that they should be diving in like this unless they have a significant advantage in terms of positioning.
See the damage into the camps even with that Pierce. Honkono himself can take out the camp by his Qs alone. It seems like doing some more damage now with all those stacks. And it's been making some significant differences when they're trying to catch targets. They're trying to punish Dami for overextending a little bit. Doesn't have the Sanctification. Doesn't even need to pop it. Actually takes out the Nubarok.
Oh, just hyper aggression here for MVP Black, but it's not paying off anymore. Sanctification going to be used here as they continue to try to chase this. Good route here coming out from Tis, but he's going to die regardless. And that's a double. And for what? There's just no reason to commit in there when they didn't have vision of the rest of the team. They saw the Aldruins come out. They thought, okay, no escape right now for Dami. If he commits in with the Aldruins, he's going to die, and he can't escape. The rest of the team was right behind him. They have a Talontier lead. They have these tools like Haymaker, and Crazy Moving is playing a great Li Ming. There's just no reason for that. Now they're going to lose their camp for it.
Wow, and Dami has been playing just so near perfectly on that Tyrael popping Sanctification on the perfect place and saving his teammates with the shield whenever needed. Black seems like they're having a lot. Oh, Kono comes in from the side. Oh, the kill onto Genji!
The only player in Korea who ever runs Haymaker, and he makes it look meta every time. Incendiary Elixir is completed now, but already the pick on the reset. Miracle looks to just continue this lead and take another Immortal. They're already on it, a slower rotation for Black. 5 seconds until reset respawns. It's going to be the swap. Halftime is up. Now reset's back. Will they be able to take a fight here on even talent tiers to retake this Immortal? It seems unlikely, honestly. Miracle just is on point with their CCs. The Haymaker is up again, so you got to be careful about that.
Now they know it. Now they have the pressure against Honkono, who's been coming out from the side, flanking in, taking the right target like Merryday, even Genji, when he's off on the cooldown. It's doing it on Kyocha alone.
Kyocha again is just getting solo. The Ancestral will go off. He does drop down that web wrap, but he dies regardless here. And MVP Black is in some serious trouble. Tist getting very low here as well. The deflect comes up for reset. Misses the Cyber Agility. Pops the Dragon Blade for no reason here. Wasn't going to save him. Tist is going to go down. A huge root, but it won't matter. They're going to save the keep for the time being, but it looks like Miracle is going to turn on this. They have the wave coming behind them, so they can absolutely keep here.
This is insane. Insane teamwork and play. They're focusing onto just one single target whenever Honkono jumps in, and Dami. This team play from Miracle, it seems like they're starting this all over again. They're not down 2-0, is it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like they have any pressure on them at all. And
there's Honkono again.
No,
the perfect Haymaker onto Sake. What a play there.
Also, you have to remember that Honkono, when you think about what there is to stop him, there are big CCs. There are the Burrow Charges, the Impale, the Roots for the Howling Blast coming out. There are ways to catch him. There are ways to punish him. But in terms of DPS, Genji and Greymane alone can't kill him very quickly. They don't have the Tychus on their side. They don't have that burst DPS. So Honkono gets away with this. If anyone does try to come and DPS him down, he just knocks him into his teammates. He's just so well practiced on this heroic.
Sake was alone because Arthas also was trying to relieve the pressure on top lane. They are all pressured in without the keep now.
We're going to look to get a second keep here. The Ancestral's available now, finally.
And that's also because they've been diving in on Kono, pressuring that. Sniper has been doing so much percent damage onto the minigun, just constant pressure onto Nubarak and Arthas.
Hey, there's a root, but no follow-up just yet. They want to wait for the perfect angle. They have Dragon Blade. Problem is they want Sanctification to be used first, then they want to jump in. If they jump in now, Sanctification will be popped, but Nubarak just barely survives here. Just barely. Will this be their opportunity? There's the Ancestral. They're going to try to send Reset in. Sanctification connects to most of the team, though. They're targeting down Sniper. He already used his Odin, but there's just not enough damage. Merida goes down. Will they only get a huge Howling Blast? Yes, they will. And here we go. Tist actually knocks Honkono up. Sake avoids that damage. The Cocoon comes in. Honkono will be taken out, and finally, MVP Black wins a team fight.
Wow.
But they did not save their keep.
Nope. And the only, or would be basically the only one left in those top and bottom lane. Losing Crazy moving before that Sanctification could not been, I think Leaving blew up right before the Sanctification popped, so that was the biggest damage missing from MVP Miracle. They could have got more resets and damage off that team fight, but just well done by focusing from Black from beginning. And Darvish, something I found funny to see. He bombed himself when he could have bombed his teammates too. A little bit of selfishness there.
May have misclicked or panicked there, but the thing that stood out to me the most in that team fight was when Reset looked like he was ready to put in the towel, walk back and just give it up. And then the Ancestral came in. And how quickly, in the middle of the Ancestral animation, he turned around and dropped off that Dragon Blade damage. That's the kind of, that's how you know there's some really good comms going on in the team. That's how you know, I'm Ancestral, you turn around right now and have the reaction time to go in there and make the last part of that Dragon Blade valuable. It's really impressive to see.
And he didn't even heal Kyocha when he was about to go down. He knew that Genji needed more heals when it's time to come to those kind of situations. Honkono going all the way in. He wants to have more stacks, doing more damage on the front line.
So, the talent tiers are even for a little bit longer, but the problem is that Black will have to deal with this pressure in the lanes. That's why it's so important they have the Impalers bot right now, and they're actually going to have this Shaman camp. It's going to relieve a lot of the bot catapult pressure. Top will be a different story, but at least they're only worried about one lane instead of two, and they have some time here to try to win a fight. Shaman camp's going against them here, so they're going to react to this very quickly. They see the Shaman camps being taken on red side, and they just go up here and clean up this catapult wave and the Impalers.
They have to. They have to because they're missing the key. The catapults will be on there if they continue to fight for a long time. And this is actually a very good spawn for MVP Black too.
Look at the angle here for Crazy Moving. It's always going to be the most important part of this fight. He's always been really well positioned. He's trying to bait out those Dampen Magic super early. They're actually going to send Meriday up here to help clear this catapult, but this Immortal is going to be worn down super early already. Tism looks for the turnaround. We're going to see the huge dive in. It looks like a three-man stun. Sanctification's coming up here. Reset, drops that Dragon Blade. Look at the stack up members of Miracle. He's getting so much damage done, but he doesn't get a pick. He doesn't get the dash resets, and now he has to leave. Honkono looks for the stun, doesn't find it, but that was a very close call. Reset did so much to start that off. Just barely gets out of here. Dami wants the chase, but doesn't want to go too far. Kyocha with a huge burrow charge in to start the fight. That was very well executed.
If you see the heroics available, though, a little bit of a win for MVP Black. Also, health available is better for MVP Black for now. So they're going to take control of the Immortal and go offensive here as Miracle will just clear the bottom camp left, and they're going to come in right now.
Kyocha's stuck. He needs to dash out. Everyone gets stunned by the Immortal for just a second. Cocoon in 10. Ancestral's available. Remember that they would have catapults on their core if they didn't actually take that Shaman camp right before this, so it's so important they got that. 30 seconds until Dragon Blade. Reset is just trying to bide his time. Honkono's coming in aggressively. This time they punish him! He goes down! Reset goes into the fight here. Deflect is used. They want to wipe here. They want this fight won.
Going to go all in. Honkono overstepped a little bit, actually a little too much, and Haymaker wasn't even available at the time.
Catapult's going to be on the Corsu. There's one cannon tower left to buy time. Reset's actually going to go to clear that. Looks like Black will win this Immortal with the kill onto Honkono, so that's going to relieve a lot of the pressure too. 20's against them now, so they need to be careful. They need to retreat home ASAP. Clean these lanes and get ready for the keep push. If they can get a double keep off of this Immortal, then the game kind of equalizes, but still, even one misstep and they lose. Despite that pick on the Honkono, despite the win on the Immortal, they're still massively behind. They need to maximize the value from this Immortal. Look at this catapult pressure in the bot lane. They're actually going to have to send someone back to deal with that. That will kill the core so quick.
That's right, but they want to have this push as strong as possible. They're diving in. Didn't really follow up perfectly there, as they're still 19, not 20 yet.
Hey, remember that catapult pressure is going to be so important.
But with this
Kyocha's
wall
going
push,
back.
they're gonna be 20 for sure. Kyocha has to go back. It's gonna be leave them 4v5 with this Immortal onto the second wall.
No doubt it's going to be Deflect coming out here for Reset at 20 because of how much Deflect he's been able to do all game long. It would be crazy for him not to. Storm Shield, Rewind, everything pretty standard. It is the Deflect coming in. So see if he completes that quest. Yeah, he already has it. You can see here.
Yeah, it's already completely, and Rewind from Nubarak. Upgrade Curse Bullet. You can hit multiple targets with that. If he lands on multiple targets, I think that's gonna be. It's really hard to hit on multiple targets since it's.
I have to be critical of Miracle in terms of their positioning. They've been stacked up a lot, which gives more ability for cocktail damage, more ability for Dragon Blade damage. I think the idea is they want to make sure they're in that Sanctification, but if the Sanctification's already used, they need to spread, or the AoE damage that Black has and AoE stuns that they have with the Nubarak are just ripping them apart. That's why they've won these last few team fights. Black actually failed to get the keep. They only got the keep wall because they had to send Tist home, so the catapult pressure is still on them. You can see Zanshin is done here.
For even one more upgrade onto the Sanctification for, I believe, just one more second of protection for the entire team, and they have been gathering up there pretty well. And Kyocha is really somewhat ignoring the damage of the minigun coming out from Sniper, as she does not have that arm. Oh, Adami's going to go all in with this Holy Ground.
Holy Ground for the steal here, but here comes Reset. The Dragon Blade is up. He's doing a lot of damage to Palm. He's just ignoring it here on Sniper. Now that it's expired, Kyocha's looking for the kill. Sniper actually survives. Reset does not get the dash reset. As a result, there's the Ancestral coming in. Kyocha wants his kill on the Sniper. Looks like he's finally eventually going to get that. Honkono over here. Is Kyocha gonna get this kill.
Where
he
is
will
this
eventually.
team
Here's
fight?
Faraday. There he goes.
There's the first kill from this team fight on Connor, very low. But Dami comes in for the extra shield haymaker onto the perfect target.
So close to getting the pick with that haymaker, but it's not enough.
So there's a second kill. It's not gonna be the end of the game, but the next Immortal will spawn, and Black will take the advantage and just go ahead with some damage.
That palm ignore from Reset was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful palm ignore.
And also Taiko was just on the Sanctification when he was on the palm. So that was a little bit of miscommunication for Miracle's side.
Yeah, if Tychus gets killed there and Reset gets the Swift Strike Reset, God, why does he play the Reset here as a sword to commentate? If he got that Reset, then he would have been able to really carry that fight even further. Crazy Moving actually overstepping the bounds here in terms of poke. Will get taken out here, and it looks like it's going to be Darvish who's the next target. Just barely gets the dash over the wall, but it's not doing him any favors that Crazy Moving is now down. This Immortal is going to go massively in favor of Black. We're at 23 minutes and a half on this map. Pretty unusual, but the scaling of this Immortal can rip through the keep and can kill the core if Miracle makes any more mistakes. 40 seconds left on Crazy Moving's death timer.
That's right, and not having a member, they can't really do too much. All the camps are basically taken. They can try to take their own camp for extra pressure onto the lane, or just take the shields down onto their own Immortal.
Miracle having the massive comebacks in the playoff series they played, winning all those 3-1s, coming all the way here to the playoff finals against their sister team, massively ahead at the beginning of this game. What, 12 kills to 1, 14 kills to 1, having both keeps down, and yet still now they struggle against the onslaught of Heavy Black. This is nearly a fully shielded Immortal, and Black is able to somehow take all of these, take these team fights, and clear the keep pressure with the catapults.
I thought the kill score was about 1 to 18, but it's now 10 to 20. MVP Black is wiping that last two team fights. They've caught up. And Dami's,
he's gonna backdoor.
I don't think he can by himself. He's just trying to pressure a little more onto the lane because.
Well, this is a really interesting choice by Dami because this is. I mean, Tyrell's a great solo laner and all, but he's not really a backdoor hero. He's going to Hearth home now. Maybe he was trying to bait MVP Black to Hearth back because they didn't have vision of Miracle because they were behind Keep, but they did not take the bait. This Keep is going to go down. The Immortal's still fairly, it can do a few more hits on the core if it gets there. Sanctification used very early here. This actually might be a problem for Miracle. Storm Shield's going to get popped here for the retreat. They get the keep. It's one step of many they're going to have to take to get back in this game, but they need to survive. They need to get out of here with this retreat. If anyone falls, Miracle could win this game with a follow-up push.
Odin is going to expire, so Black has to, if they decide to come in, this is the time they want to go. But the pressure is real as they do not have any keeps left.
They have to get out of here. They have to get out. If they get caught, they're in trouble.
Miracle is chasing them on purpose, so they cannot Hearth home, and it's going to take a long time.
The scaling of the catapults in this late game is insanely strong, too. Zage will come over here and clear it up with the cocktails. But if that's left there for just a few seconds, it's lights out. We're going to actually lose this camp as well. Miracle has done all of these things, Black has done all these things perfectly in the late game now. All these team fights, all the clearing, and all they can accomplish with a late game Immortal is to get one keep. The keep pressure in the top lane is going to be against them still. It just feels like they're playing this entire late game with one hand tied behind their back. Miracle's massively ahead in every way, but still can't win these fights when it matters most. The lack of an avatar is really starting to sting here for Honkono because he got a few really amazing picks with that haymaker early on, but now Black is coordinated against him. Whenever he dives in, he gets punished. He's been picked several times trying to use it. He doesn't have that extra survivability. That's an issue. It was a big boon for them early on, but now it feels like it's hurting them in the late game.
Yeah, especially because Black, by now, they're all staying in together, not like before when Sake overstepped a little bit and Honkono could come in from the side.
Ooh, that is such a risky move by Black to actually approach that, but also for Miracle, if that root is there and the whole team was there, that ends up being a wipe. One team fight can win this game for either team right now. So if it's a big fight, if it's a big wipe on either side, that's it. Game's over.
Even just one kill is going to decide the winner of this game. Then Miracle starting this a little bit quicker, and actually the damage coming out is so much.
Okay, Black though has kind of a better racing comp though. They're actually just going to cut their losses here and attack, race it down. They're still 10k behind because they got here so late. They feel comfortable now with the swap. They're going to go for the invade. The angle for Kyoji here is going to be everything. Not going to commit yet. They just force them back because they actually had some of that catapult pressure onto Miracle. They're kind of winning the lane down there in terms of pressure. Now they take the lead and Immortal Health.
They come for defense instead of racing for the Immortal.
Coach is caught here. Holy ground! Will he survive? The answer is no! They do pick him off there. He was stunned, stun-locked to death. This may actually be the end of this game if MVP Black can't pull off a miracle. Storm Shield goes down here. There's the Odin. Sanctification's up. Reset already used his Dragon Blade. He doesn't have it available anymore. This is gonna have to do it right now.
Tommy gets very low, but still has a shield available and will get more damage.
Oh, the Ancestral is so good though! And they want to make this fight happen. They're gonna make this fight happen 4v5. If they can do it. Sniper's caught here. He's too low. He goes down. Reset had the Ancestral on him. Honko's trying to carry this. Meride is getting very, very low. No keep pressure on the top lane right now here for Black. Darvish tries to escape. Reset's insanely low. The pings come in, but there's no way to stop him. Can't Darvish get a kill? No! Sake kills him first. And now this is going to be a 1 Immortal for MVP Black and probably the push to end. Crazy moving still survives here, but he can't carry this fight alone.
And this Immortal will have some shields. Actually takes out Li Ming. That's going to be game for sure.
Oh, what an amazing,
what
an amazing, potentially, I mean, this game looked one for Miracle from the start. They won the early game so hard. They had all the tools in the world. They had double keep pressure. They were massively ahead in kills. They were talent tiers ahead. They had 20 first. They had Storm talents first. They had every advantage in the book, but still the team fighting. The coordination for Black won out in the end as this Immortal will now march towards keep. They could try to pull off a Miracle hold here. But now, I mean, we talked about all the advantages that Miracle had in the early game, but this late game Immortal will likely just end this game and end this series. Let's see if Miracle can quite literally pull off a Miracle. Li Ming's not up for 15 seconds.
I believe the wall is already gone and Keep is already damaged too. Looks like it's actually 100%, but this Immortal, look at the damage into the Keep.
Doing so much. This is 30 minutes on this map. Unheard of game time. Miracle's gonna have to pull off a Miracle here when Crazy Moving respawns. Sniper's already put into the cocoon. Reset, pops that Dragon Blade. They want to end this game now. They want to end this series. They want to go to Sweden. They lost last year in the 2016 summer season. They want revenge. They want to go, and it looks like they will. Storm Shield here going off, but it's too little too late. That's gonna be game over. MVP Black with the insane comeback in a 30-minute game to take the 3-0 series. What a game!
What a game we just saw to finish off Season 1 of HGC's Korea playoff here. Miracle, of course, at Game 3. They had their chances. They were leading. But at the end, I think Genji just outplayed all of Miracle's members. Haymaker worked to pick off some targets, but once Black really stayed in together, there was no angle of Honkono coming in and making that happen anymore.
Well, there you have it. MVP Black is going to the mid-season brawl. They will join L5 as the second Korean representative moving into this amazing first time we're going to have this big international event now. 4 Heroes of the Storm. We had 3 last year. BlizzCon was the most recent. We had the Eastern Clash, the Western Clash, and now we're going to find out which team is the best in the world. L5 looks to be the strongest right now, but we'll see. They lost to MVP Black actually in the Eastern Clash. MVP Black could upset maybe the Western teams. Maybe it's their time to shine. I feel like the gap has certainly closed a lot, especially with Fnatic going to the BlizzCon finals. That game just took everything out of me, Jacob. I can't even believe that that just happened. 2 keeps down. 2 keeps down for so long. They won every team fight and every Immortal while also having catapult pressure on their core from 2 lanes. What?
Glad it's 2 lanes. If it were 3 lanes, then I think it would have been a lot more pressure and harder for MVP Black. But making that play, just putting the right person to take care of the wave exactly at the same time, and just not team fighting, not getting called, but by that Haymaker onto Honkono at the late game. That's what made the difference. And Reset's Genji is just outrageous. That deflect build, I'm gonna try it when I get home today. That seems to do so much damage, especially against Li Ming. And Li Ming also had, Crazy Moving had the bowl to pick Disintegrate.
Yeah. And
that
also, the positioning of, I feel like every Miracle in some of those team fights allowed for the big stuns coming out from Kocha, allowed for those big Dragon Blade hits to go off. And we didn't talk about this too much, but I feel like Kyocha escaped so many times because with so little health. And finally, once they had Temporal Flux at level 20 with Li Ming, he was able to slow him and get a few more of those kills. But I can't believe they won that last fight, by the way, 4v5, 2 on top of it all, with the kill coming down first for MVP Miracle.
I think it's also Meride, just not ancestral healing Kyocha when he's about to go down, but actually focusing on Genji alone. It's like Kyocha saying, I'm okay, just leave me, I'll be fine. And then Meride focused on Genji all the time, and he was able to survive it until the last game. And then he turned everything around with his plays.
Yeah, all the cooldowns, all the CCs, all the cooldowns are basically spent on the Anubarak non-stop. And then Genji comes in with the Dragon Blade. It's like, we already used all our cooldowns to kill Kyocha, now what do we do? The Storm Shield usage there by Meride 2 in the end, it was really good overall. And it almost felt like, he just had this insane uptime of shields, like I was watching Lucio or something in that last fight. But that is going to be it for HGC Korea, guys. We're going to have an interview with our MVP, which there's a high chance it's Meride because this is his last time ever playing in Korea. But it also could be reset because of those amazing Dragon Blades. Meride had the Ancestrals to make it happen, too. They should just send both of them up here.
They should send the entire team and just let them talk by themselves and just remove the Korean casters off the desk. Or they'll be standing on the side.
They can give a speech. They should give a victory speech.
Yeah, they should do that too. How do you feel? I'm sure they're going to ask that. How do you feel about going against all the foreign teams along with L5? But instead, it's going to be Sake from MVP Black.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
And I'm back to find what we lost. We're back, MVP Black, and I'm Sake from MVP Black.
직행할 뻔도 했었는데 어떠셨습니까?
You could have got your ticket straight, but it took you a long way.
하는데 이제 2대1이 됐잖아요.
네.
정화 선수가 노블레스 선수가 너무 잘해가지고.
Well, after our match against L5,
멘탈이 깨져가지고.
it was our match. We were winning 2-0 and we became 2-1. And then after that game, L5 just broke our heads, and then we lost our mentality going into later games. It was very tough.
굉장히 빠르게 10분도 안 돼서 그죠?
Going back to the game number 1,
마무리가 되면서 이거
that was a
3대0인가
quick game, and then we
첫 번째 세트가
Dreamcasters thought it was
마무리가
going to be
되고
a
나서
very quick 3-0.
팀의 분위기는 그때는 어땠어요?
How was the team atmosphere after the first two games?
첫 번째 세트. 그러니까 그때 L5전.
그냥 잘했다.
Oh, we're still talking about L5.
잘했다.
They were just saying, oh, good. We did well.
1, 2단 뺐을 때
네.
내가 제 뚝배기 깰 수 있다. 얘들아 가라. 내가 깰 수 있다 했는데 살더라고요.
Did you expect the Illusion coming out from L5 at all?
네, 그렇죠. 사실 뭐 게임 용어니까 요즘 많이 쓰는. 네네.
No, not really.
네,
That
그래도
was
오늘
tough.
형제 팀을 만났잖아요.
And now you face your sister team, MVP Miracle.
사실 자리 하나 놓고 싸우는 건데.
Of course, there's only one spot
경기를
left
준비하는
between the two teams.
같은 숙소에서 생활하는
You guys live together, work
기분이 좀
together,
어땠어요?
practice together, eat together.
하루 그 미라클은 이제 경기 때문에 계속 빠졌잖아요.
네.
저희는 그냥 지켜보면서
Miracle, because of
이거
the
하네,
playoff
이거,
matches they've been
이것만
playing,
쓰네. 그런 식으로 경기만 보고
네.
we've just been
스크림은
watching
약간
them.
현실적으로 못했어요.
네.
그래가지고
At
경기만
home, we
보고
couldn't really
그냥
scream
이런 식으로
against them too
한다.
much.
우리는 이런 식으로 하면 되겠다. 그래가지고 저희는 나지부의 약간 평가가 좀 원래는 높았는데
We
이제 많이
thought the
낮아져가지고
Ziva was really good, but
터치는
it's
치고
been
가자 이렇게
going
해가지고
down, and there were lots of counters to it.
1세트 나지부로 썼잖아요.
네.
그래가지고 그게
And they
잘
also Miracle
카운팅이
really
되고.
used
뭐
focused on the Ziva. I
하게
think
되면은
that
블랙한테
was the
이길 수
difference a
없는
little
그런
bit between
상황인
our
거예요.
teams.
나지보도 있으니까 좀 빠르게 그냥 밀어버리면서
Was that also a
스피드로
strategy
상대를
because there was
찍어누르는
Ziva on the other
네,
side?
요즘
You guys
메타가
went
이제
for
긴지가
strong
나오고
push?
나서 약간 작년 썸머 때도 약간
It's like it's
메타가
like last
계속 좀
summer.
순환한다고 생각해요.
네.
I think
그래가지고 이
meta goes
부분을
around.
굉장히 빠르게 체크한 것 같아요. 이번에는 어그로 메타가 좀 많이
So right now it's
어그로 메타가
lots of
다시 돌아온 것 같다,
aggro
이런 식으로
aggro
우리가
plays,
첫
really
번째
delaying
부분은
time for the
겐지랑
late game.
제압줄 썼잖아요.
네.
그런 식으로 어그로 메타가 다시 돌아온 것 같으니까 이게 좀 센 것 같다.
I think it's really strong, and we try to counter
문제될 거 없다. 그 전에 끝내면 되니까.
Naziba because we can finish the game before. That was our goal.
순환되는 그 메타를 찾는데 저희가 좀 많이 노력한
I
것
think
같아요.
네,
it
그렇죠.
just
그럼
took some
겐지는
time, and we
어떻습니까?
found
확실히
the meta
앞으로
right
미드
now
시즌
and how to
난투에서도
counter against
주력
it.
영웅이 될 만한 영웅인가요?
저희나 L5는 주력이 될 것 같은데 유럽 선수들은 안 될 것 같아요.
피지컬이
I think
그래서
Genji
그 친구들
can be a
약간
very
좀
good meta
그런 게좀
for
있더라고요.
L5 or
아,
us,
그래요?
but
네, 좀
I don't think
스포킬이
any other
약간
foreign
힘들고
teams
네.
can actually
아,
pull it off.
적인 그런 건
팀합
잘하는데
이런 걸
Shots
맞추고
예,
fired
개인기량을
there from
좀
Sake.
중시하는 것은 좀 상대적으로 좀 중요시 안 해서요?
네, 그 친구들은 일단 팀 파이터가 굉장히 세가지고
I think their team fight is
벤치보다는
really
그
strong.
친구들 아누바럭 쓰는 게 더 지금 많이 신경 써요.
음.
화면
also
고치하고 순식간에
Using
들어오는
Anubarak,
순간
using
점사를
Cocoon to isolate.
되게 잘해서 특히 파티 그거 되게 잘하거든요.
And Fnatic is really good at
부분에
that
좀
too.
많이 걱정돼요.
So that's something I'm worried about, but still.
우승이죠.
Of course, where are you go?
그러면
What's your goal for the mid-season brawl?
만날 팀은
네.
Champion champions, of course.
결국에는 L5 자꾸 우승할 거라는 얘기네요.
그렇죠.
지난 시즌
gonna
얼마
be-
전에
Looks like
한번
Saki
그
wants to have a
중국에서
Korean
네,
finals
한번
again
터뜨린 적이 있었죠.
at the global
L5.
stage.
네.
예, 다시 한번 그런 모습을 기대해도 되는 걸까요?
Can we expect versus
이번에
L5 finals again?
네.
이 태준이가 오늘 한국에서 마지막 경기 했잖아요.
그렇죠.
And
네.
there it was this last
진짜 마지막 여행이다 생각해가지고
match
오늘도
in
되게
Korea.
상경기도 되게 불리했는데 계속 한타를 이제 A라는 상황이 있어요. 그래가지고
예.
A가 그러니까 D 라인을 물자. 근데
Mhm.
그게 잘 안
And when
돼가지고
even
계속
game
D,
3
C,
was
D
very
계속 가면서
hard to go in.
어떤 식으로 해야 얘가 통할까 계속
We had these every plan, like plan A, plan B. We were trying to do plan A, didn't really work out.
이번에 미드 시즌 가가지고 태준이가
But Mary Day was the one that turned around
노블
everything.
선수를 잘 마크해가지고 이긴 것 같거든요.
네.
네.
그래가지고 이번에는 좀 그 정도 역할을 해주지 않을까.
I think Mary Day really made lots of differences in all game. So I'm expecting him to play so much better in mid-season brawl too.
가볍게 플레이해도 되는 선수인데
네.
침 많이
끝까지 좀
주시네요.
파이팅 해달라.
네. 자 그러면 마지막으로 L5에게 선전포고 한번 하고 마무리해
And
주시죠.
any shout-outs to L5?
그쪽이나 이쪽이나 이제
Oh, you
마지막
guys and us.
이될 것 같은데 그냥 저희가 한국에서는 다 졌잖아요.
네.
근데 해외에서는
Well, after
이겨가지고
in Korea,
유럽에서도
we've lost
저희가
against them a
해외에서
lot.
이기지 않을까
but
라는 희망을 가지고
we're gonna win a lot
보도록 하겠습니다.
in the global stage.
이제 또 다음 페이지가 또 오잖아요.
네.
미드 시즌 끝나면 저희 새로운 블랙도 이제
And
버리고 이제
네.
Season 2 Black is gonna come
새로운
up.
블랙도 많이
It will be a different Black without Mary Day, but please keep rooting for
네.
us.
뭔가 뉴 블랙이 뭔가 있다라는
그렇죠,
말씀이신데 저희가 막 기대를
Seems
해보도록
like the
하겠습니다.
hints are coming out from Sake
좋은
that will
성적
be the
나왔으면
new Blacks
좋겠습니다.
is
자,
going to have
인터뷰는
lots of
여기서
power
마무리를 짓도록
coming out.
하겠고 오늘 있었던 경기 결과 확인해 보도록 하겠습니다.
So let's take a look at our results for today. The 3-0 victory for MVP Black over Miracle. However, that 3-0 just does not talk about the in-depth and the crazy comeback that happened in the game 3. Miracle was massively, massively ahead. Couldn't hold on. And that is one of the more exciting things coming up is the Black that you see now and the Black that is going to the mid-season brawl is going to be completely different from the Black that we see going into next season. We don't know in which way just yet, but obviously with roster swaps and position changes and all of the nature allowed between seasons, when we go into Season 2 after the Brawl, there's probably going to be a totally new roster of teams. We have the Crucible next week. Who knows? But there's a lot of hype going into next season. But as far as mid-season Brawl goes, Miracle's run, their miracle run, no pun intended, with the 3-1s over 3 teams that were favored over them, comes to an end to their sister team. 0-3 they fall. But they had a great showing, and I feel like they'll be even stronger going into next season with whatever roster they decide to bring because they stepped it up here in the end. And in Season 2, I think they're going to be looking to be on form. We're going to see that playoff form from MVP Black.
As from the beginning of the season, it was very expected that we're going to have L5 and Black stepping up to the global stage, and it is. It is the truth, and it is the fact now that they are going to that mid-season brawl in just few weeks. And as you can see down right there, that's the schedule. The 2 teams. Let's see, with those bold words from Sake, let's see if it comes to the all-Korean finals once more.
Yep.
Or I think a lot of the foreign teams have really stepped up, and I think they are very strong right now.
I think we could have another situation like BlizzCon,
Where
for sure.
Black lost against Fnatic.
It could happen, but with how much heavier the competition is in Korea right now, I feel like the teams have definitely risen in form. Like I feel like the Korean teams looked really weak in the Eastern Clash, but I'm thinking we're gonna see a Korea versus Korea finals. Obviously, it depends on groups and the like, but we'll have to wait and see. But obviously, it's going to be group stage for the first part of that schedule, and then of course the playoffs will be the second part that was at the bottom.
That's right.
But GClef, man, it's been a great season. We started early in the cold winter, and now we're here to summer, and it's been a long, amazing 10 weeks, 11 weeks, including playoffs of HGC Korea. But that is going to do it for us, for myself and GClef. We'll see you guys at the Crucible next week, and after that, Season 2 of HGC Korea. Have a great night.